everyone, it's Emily Shapiro here in my studio today. I'm going to show you how to carve a basic ring out of wax to be cast into metal. So first let's talk types of waxes. These are wax ring tubes, so ring blanks. You'll see that they have a hole in the middle to start for your ring. So I have different colors and different shapes. So first I'll show you, this is the blue. Always check the manufacturer, but this type of wax, there's blue, purple, and green. Blue is the softest, purple's in the middle, and green is the hardest. They actually all feel the same. They very much feel like a hard plastic. Like I can't actually move it with my hand yet. But basically blue as the softest just moves a little quicker when you file it. Purple would be a little bit harder, and then green is the hardest. There isn't too big of a difference, but if you're doing something with a lot of details, you might want to use green, and if you're doing something that's maybe just more of a plain ring, you can use blue. Green would just hold the detail like a little bit more. Again, not a huge difference. If you're kind of on the fence, I say just go with purple. That's usually what I do. So let's also go over the different shapes. So these are also they're all different ring blanks, so they have the hole in the middle. So this is a perfect circle, which is what we're going to be using today. This one has an off-center hole. You'll see there's a little bit more material on the top. And then this last one is a flat top. So, depending on what you want to do in your design, again, you don't need all of these things. If I were to buy one, a lot of times I'll just get the flat top because you can always cut this away. So we just want to be smart about your materials. Okay, so we're going to use our round ring blank today. The first thing I always want to do is, this is a fresh one, so it hasn't been cut before, but we want to take our double-ended wax file and file a nice flat edge on it. So here's my double-ended wax file. You'll see that there's a coarse side and a fine side. You should just be able to feel it with your finger. And then there's also a flat side of the file and a curved side. So anytime that we're filing something flat or rounded, you're going to want to use that flat side, and anytime you're filing anything that's curved, you're going to want to use the curved side. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just take the coarse end, so I'm just feeling. This is my bench pin. This is just a little piece of wood that hooks onto my jeweler's bench. You certainly don't need this, but it does help. You can absolutely just do a regular table. So I'm going to hold the wax in my hand and then rest it against the bench pin just like this. Anytime when you're filing or doing anything with your material, when you're doing it against the bench pin, it has a little bit more pressure, so it moves faster. So if I were filing like this, as opposed to up here, it'll go a little faster because there's pressure, whereas up here, it'll just go a little slower. Okay, so let's get filing. I'm gonna take that flat side of my coarse file and I'm gonna file away from me. You can go back and forth, that's fine, but the teeth of the file are manufactured to cut when it's away from you. You also notice that I am gonna do a few strokes and then turn it a little bit. That's because our bodies are a little uneven, so if you were to just go in one direction, it's totally gonna be uneven. It's nice to compensate for that and just constantly be moving it around. Okay, so it's even, it looks good. Now I'm gonna switch to that fine side of my file and just do a few strokes. Again, it's just kind of nice to start your design just with everything nice and flat. Okay, so this looks good. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure with my dividers. These are dividers. It is a measuring tool. You can scroll it out or scroll it in to make it to get your measurement. And they have a nice sharp tip that we can use to score into the wax. So this is, I have a ruler. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scroll our dividers out to the widest point of our ring, so this way. And so I'm gonna do 5 millimeters. You can measure, you can just go by eye, that's fine. But if I want my ring to be 5 millimeters, so I'm going to use my ruler and scroll my divider in. I'm actually gonna do 5 millimeters, maybe plus 1 or 2, just to leave a little room for error. So I'm gonna do, I'll say like 7 millimeters right now. Okay, put my ruler off to the side. So I'm gonna hold my dividers just like I'm holding a pencil, just like this. So I'm gonna rest one side on that flat edge that we just filed and just slowly go around. You don't want to go too hard. If you dig too hard, you're going to notice that's going to start to skip. It's better to just go section on section. We can go around more than once if you need. This is to just score the line where we're going to cut this off.